We're going to keep going because I don't think that the food is here for the jury, so we're going to ask the state to please call their next witness.
Yes, Your Honor, we would call Arden Summers.
Arden Summers. Now, let me let you know that if it gets here, did we already do the witness that had the 6:30 issue?
Judge, I just moved her to tomorrow morning.
Okay, so that's not an issue. So then when the pizza gets here for the jury, we're going to take a break. So they're going to let me know, and wherever we're at in the next witness, we'll just take a short break.
Yes, Your Honor.
And I apologize, the next witness was Arden Summers. Is that correct?
Correct.
Ready?
Yes. Ms. Summers, good evening and welcome. If you'll come forward through that gate, and then wherever you're comfortable, if you'll face me and please raise your right hand to be sworn as a witness. Thank you. Do you swear or affirm any testimony that you may give in this proceeding will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you. If you'll follow the bailiff to the ramp that leads up to the witness chair, please watch your step. When you get to that chair, go ahead, have a seat. Please make yourself comfortable, and that microphone in front of you is fully adjustable. If you're too close, we'll let you know. If you're too far away, you might have to get a little closer, but usually you have to get fairly close to them for it to amplify your voice.
Okay.
Whenever you're ready, I'll let let them proceed.
Okay, I'm ready.
You may proceed.
Good evening. Can you please tell us your first and your last name, spelling your first name?
My name is Arden Summers, A-R-D-E-N.
And how old are you?
I am 19.
And how old were you back in March of 2017?
I was 14.
And who is your mother?
My mother is Elisa Matthewson.
And who is your father?
Trevor Summers.
Do you see him here in the courtroom today?
Yes, I do.
And can you please point to him and describe an article of clothing that he's wearing for me?
He's right in front of me, and he's wearing a blue shirt.
Please let the record reflect she has identified the defendant.
The record shall so reflect.
And do you have any siblings?
I do.
And who are your siblings?
Landon Summers, Bryn Summers, Grady Summers, and Cooper Summers.
And are you the oldest?
Yes.
When was the last time that you saw and spoke to Trevor Summers?
The last time I saw and spoke to him was March 11th of 2017.
And do you remember the night preceding and the early morning hours of March 11th of 2017?
Yes.
Back then in March, were your parents living together or were they living separately?
They were living separately.
And were they going through the divorce process?
Yes.
Were you staying with both of your parents or mainly one of your parents?
At the time, I was staying with mainly one.
And which parent was that?
That was Trevor Summers.
And why is that?
Due to some things that I had become upset about.
Were you upset the fact that they were getting divorced?
Yes.
Okay. Were you upset about an incident that had occurred in February that you heard about?
Yes.
Were you upset that your mom was moving on from the marriage with your father and dating?
At that time, yes.
Okay. Did you know who she was dating?
Yes.
And who was that person?
That was Jeff Matthewson.
And is she now married to him?
Yes.
Would your mother ever video chat or speak to Jeff or anybody that she may have been dating during this time, February or March of 2017?
Not while I was present.
Okay. On March 10th of 2017, that evening, where were you going to be staying the night?
At my mother's.
And who did you end up staying the night with at your mother's? Which siblings?
Bryn and Grady.
And where were your other siblings, Landon and Cooper?
They were at my dad's house.
And that night on March 10th, what did you do when you got to your mother's house?
We watched a movie for a little bit, and then after the movie was over, my siblings and my mom went to sleep.
Where were you going to sleep that night?
I was going to sleep on the couch.
Is that where you typically slept?
No, I usually, when I was with my mom, slept in her bed with her.
Okay. That night, where did Grady and Bryn sleep?
They slept with my mother.
Was there a plan that was to take place that night
Yes.
when you were at your mom's?
Yes.
What was the plan?
The plan was to let my dad into my mom's house so he could speak to her about some stuff.
And whose idea was this for you to let him in the house?
This was my dad's idea.
Did you agree to do that?
Yes.
Did you know why he wanted to go in the house to speak to your mother?
He only told me that he wanted to speak to her about some legal stuff.
Okay. And did you agree to participate in this plan with him?
Yes.
At this time in March of 2017, how many phones did you have?
I had 2.
And did you utilize both of those phones?
Yes.
Why did you have 2 phones at the age of 14?
One was from my mother and one was from my father.
Now, this plan, was this the first time that it was discussed that this plan was going to take place on March 10th of 2017?
No.
When was it discussed previously?
It was previously discussed a few days before it had occurred. We were originally planning on just me going over there alone, and it didn't end up working out.
Why didn't it end up working out?
My mom and I had gotten into an argument about my dad, and so I had been taken home.
Were you protective of your father during this time?
Yes.
The night of March 10th of 2017, moving into the early morning hours of March 11th of 2017, did you communicate with Trevor Summers?
Yes.
And how did you communicate with him?
Via Google Hangouts.
Is that an application?
Yes, text message.
And did you communicate with your brother Landon?
Yes.
And how old was he at the time?
Landon was 12 at the time.
Was the plan, was this discussed, or was the plan for you all to be communicating that night?
Yes.
And what was the plan with regards to the communication? How was your dad going to know what time and when he was going to be let into the home?
It was pretty much just me letting him know updates and, hey, they're going to bed, and then they waited for Cooper to fall asleep to come over.
Why is it that you were going to have to let your dad in, or Trevor Summers in through, in the house? Why couldn't he just come during normal hours that someone would come to the house?
I don't remember if there was ever an actual reason I was given.
Okay. And did you know whether or not your mother had a domestic violence injunction against your father at that time?
Yes.
Judge may approach the witness.
Yes, you may.
Ms. Summers, I'm showing you what's been pre-marked as State's Exhibit I-1 through 66 for identification purposes. Have you previously gone through these messages?
Yes.
Okay. And do they fairly and accurately depict the conversation that took place on the night of March 10th and the early morning hours of March 11th between you, Landon, and Trevor Summers?
Yes.
State offers into evidence State's Exhibit I-1 through 66.
Any objection?
No objection.
That'll be admitted.
Permission to publish.
You may publish.
State I-1. Now, this is a photograph of your actual phone. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Did law enforcement take these photographs when you ultimately spoke to them?
I don't know when specifically they were taken, but I assume so, yes.
Okay. Did you provide your phone to law enforcement?
Yes.
And Did they pull the messages up actually on your phone and then photograph them?
Yes.
Okay. So we're looking at your phone. It says FORM Voltron. What is that?
Voltron was a Netflix show that I was really into at the time, so it was just what I had based the group chat name off of.
So you called this group chat
Yes.
that name. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. And we see a text from Landon on Friday at 4:13 p.m. What is that photograph?
That is a picture of my dad's father.
Okay. And OMG, is that shorthand for oh my God?
Yes.
Okay. And everything in the gray, is that your response?
Yes.
And otherwise it would have Landon or the other person, the defendant's responses. Is that
Yes.
correct? What are we looking at the underneath your response, OMG?
It was another funny post I had just sent. There was no reason for it.
Okay. Publishing I2. We have the bottom, at the very, very tip top, we have the bottom of your last post. Is that correct?
Yes.
Now we have a message from a person called Taylor. Who is Taylor in this group chat?
That would be Trevor Summers.
Why is it that his name was Taylor in this group chat and not something like Dad or Trevor or something else?
He went under an alias in the group chat just so if my mom looked at my phone, she didn't think that I was talking to him.
Whose idea was it that you put him under an alias?
That was his idea.
So, question at 7:10 p.m., how's it going? From Taylor. And your response is what?
Good so far.
And Taylor responds, no booger man there. Who's the booger man?
That would have been Jeff Matthewson.
Okay. And what is your response?
We're not home yet, pulling into the neighborhood now.
And what did you mean by that?
My mom had just recently picked us up, so we were on the way to her house at that time.
And Landon responds, hi.
Yes.
And what do you respond?
Hi Lan Lan, which was a nickname for him at the time.
I3. At 7:11, the defendant responds, did you go somewhere first or straight there? And what is your response?
Straight there.
And the defendant responds, you took the long way, I guess. And what is your response?
Yeah, we're there and I see nothing.
What do you mean by that? I see nothing.
Having to do with Jeff Matthewson.
Were you told to look out for him if he was going to be there when you got there?
Yes.
Why did the defendant want to know if Jeff Matthewson was there?
He wanted to know if perhaps he would show up or intervene or anything like that.
Intervene, what do you mean?
I don't know if there was anything that we were worried about if he would stop us from seeing my mom, just that he would show up is what the concern was.
Okay. And Landon had responded, look for the black pound sign whole car.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And what does it mean, pound sign whole?
He would be referring to the word asshole.
Is it fair to say that Landon was not happy that your mom was dating?
Not at all.
I4. And what is your response to that?
My response was, I did, LOL.
And LOL is shorthand for what?
Laugh out loud.
So then it jumps to 7:25 p.m. The defendant responds, all good there? And what's your response?
Yeah, just watching a movie.
And Landon states, secretly take pictures, make sure your flash is off. And what do you respond?
Just okay.
And Landon responds, is mom with you? Publishing states I5. What is your response?
Yeah, she hasn't been on her phone yet.
And what do you mean by that?
If she was perhaps texting Jeff or just on her phone in general, not spending time with us.
Okay. And Landon responds, is she hanging out with you? And what's your response?
Yeah, we're watching a movie.
And Landon asks or says, and use the code word once and a while. What does he mean by use the code word?
We had a code word in case, like, my mom had taken my phone and was replying to the messages, but it wasn't really used.
Whose idea was it that a code word was needed?
And Trevor Summers.
Do you remember what the code word was?
If I remember correctly, it was peach.
Okay. So what do you respond?
I responded with yeeples.
Was that the code word?
No.
I-6. The defendant responds, that's a different code word. Did it change? And what's your response?
Me and Landon made it up. LOL.
Taylor responds, what's it look like there? And that's at 8:01. What is your response?
Everything is normal.
And then the defendant asks, meant a picture. Publishing I-7. And do you text message the picture?
Yes.
And is this, what's this photograph of?
That is a photograph of my mom's living room from one of the couches.
And is it from where you were seated?
Yes.
Watching the movie?
Yes.
And the defendant responds, looks like no one there. Publishing I-8. Landon responds, who is in this photograph?
That would be a picture of Landon.
And what is your response?
The heck, Landon, LOL.
Publishing I-9. Do you send another photograph?
Yes.
And who's in this picture?
That would be Bryn and Grady.
And where are they?
They are sitting on the couch, and my mom is there, but she's cut out.
I'm sorry?
She's in the picture, but she was cut out.
So she's on the couch
Yes.
in the middle of Bryn and Grady?
Yes. Grady was on her lap at the time.
Okay. Publishing I-10. The defendant sends a photograph. Do you know what this photograph is of?
It was when they were fishing in Apollo Beach.
And that's what they were doing that night while you were at your mother's house watching a movie with Bryn and Grady and her?
Yes, correct.
And what's your response?
My response was, where are you? And then I had corrected it to, where are you? And then, oops, LOL.
Publishing I-11. The defendant responds, Apollo Beach fishing. And what's your response?
Oh, looks like Landon is miserable in his picture XD.
And what do you mean XD?
It was sort of like a smiley face emoji kind of response.
So now people can typically hit on a smiley face or a sad face, and that's what it comes up. Is that correct?
No, it's like when you put a colon and then a parentheses, it's supposed to look like a smiley face.
But I'm talking nowadays, like people can just hit the
yes.
sign of it. Okay, and so this back in 2017, did your phone have that ability?
It did. I just didn't use it.
Okay. So Landon responds with another photograph. Is that correct?
Yes.
Publishing I-12. What is your response?
Much better XD.
And what do you mean by that? Just the photograph, responding to his photograph?
Yes.
And then Landon responds, and that was I don't smiles, cringe. Is that correct?
Yes.
And publishing I-13, how do you respond?
XD, and then I meant to say OMG.
And the defendant responds with a photograph. Who is that in the photograph?
That is Trevor Summers.
I-14, what do you state back?
LOL, nice. Mom went into her room to get ready for bed.
And Landon responds, you need to stay awake, in all caps.
Mm-hmm.
And why did you need to stay awake?
To let my dad in the window later.
And what is your response?
I am dum-dum, and then a little face.
Landon asks you at 8:51, are you tired? And what is your response?
No.
Publishing I-15. Landon responds, did the kid say anything about new car? What does he mean about the new car?
I don't remember exactly.
Okay. And what is your response?
Nope.
And Landon says, did the kid say anything about the pool? Do you know what he meant by that?
I do not remember.
And what is your response?
No.
Landon replies, good. And what do you reply?
I said, yeah.
Publishing I-16. The defendant responds at 9:04 saying it's milkshake time.
Yes.
And what do you respond?
And I respond with lucky.
What does it mean to be milkshake time?
That they were going to get milkshakes.
Okay. And the defendant responds perump. What does that mean?
That is where my friend at the time lived, and he had promised me that I would go see her if I allowed him to talk to my mom.
Okay, so your friend lived in Pahrump?
Yes.
Where is that?
That is located in Nevada.
And so you were promised a trip to visit her if you let him in to your mother's home that night?
Yes.
And what do you respond?
I responded with, I know XD.
And Landon responds, LOL.
Yes.
I-17, the defendant asks, still watching a movie? And what's your response?
Yeah, sorry. I just put on a movie after everyone went to bed.
And this is at 9:43 p.m.?
Yes.
And the defendant responds, everyone is in bed already, question mark?
Yes.
And you respond?
Yeah.
And the defendant asks, is mom by herself? And publishing I-18, what is your response?
My response was, no, little kids are with her.
And the defendant states, you should check on them. Are they sleeping with her tonight? Make sure she's not video chatting and introducing them to that guy, code word. And what do you respond with?
I responded with, Peach, all is silent.
And Peach, was that the code word?
Yes.
And then the defendant says, okay, peek in there or go to the bathroom. Make sure they're okay. I-19, what do you respond?
I responded with, okay, just checked, she's fast asleep.
And that's at 9:51 p.m.?
Yes.
And the defendant responds, little kid's asleep too, and what do you respond?
I responded with, Bryn is, Grady isn't.
And the defendant asks, what's he doing? Arden, you still awake? And that's what Landon had texted, correct?
Yes.
Publishing I-20. What is your response to Landon's question?
I responded, he was getting a drink of water, then laid down. That was supposed to send like 20 minutes ago. Yeah, I'm awake.
And that was referring to Grady, who is still awake.
Yes.
And the defendant responds, did she leave her purse out? Any pills in there? What did he mean by that?
He was looking to see if she had any birth control prescriptions or anything of the sort.
So did he ask you to go look through her things to see if you saw any of that?
I do not remember.
Was there discussion that he wanted you to do that before you got there that night?
Not that I remember.
And what did you respond?
I responded with IDK, which is short for I don't know.
Okay. I-21, the defendant responds, well, have a look if you can. And what do you respond?
I responded with, okay, all there was Alka-Seltzer. And
where did you look for these pills that he wanted you to find, and then all you found was Alka-Seltzer?
I don't remember.
The defendant then says, okay, any receipts for prescriptions or birth control? And what do you respond?
Not that I see.
And the defendant responds with okay?
Yes.
And that's at 10:35 p.m.?
Yes.
Publishing I-22. What is your response?
My response was, when do you think you're coming?
And the defendant responds, soon as Coop goes to sleep. Is Coop short for Cooper?
Yes.
So at 10:45, Cooper, 3-year-old Cooper is still awake?
Yes.
And what is your response?
My response was, good Lord, how late is that child staying up, XD?
And the defendant responds, make some coffee?
Yes.
Did you drink coffee at the time?
I did not.
Okay. And what did you state?
I replied with, I am not tired.
And that's at 10:47?
Yes.
Publishing I-22, the defendant responds, look out front for that jerk's car with the hood scoop. Whose car is that?
That would be Jeffrey Matthewson's.
And how did you respond?
I responded with, I know.
And then the defendant responds, did you notice if mom had a passcode on her phone or a thumbprint? And I-24, how did you respond?
I responded with, she uses thumbprint.
And were you aware that she had recently gotten a new phone?
I don't remember.
Landon responds with, "I'm making a house for your cat." What did he mean by that?
I'm not sure, but I did have a cat at the time.
Okay. And what's your response?
I said, LOL, thanks.
And then Landon sends a picture.
Yes.
And what do you know what that's a picture of?
I don't remember.
Okay. Publishing I-25. What's your response?
Nope, don't do it. Landon Trevor Summers, don't you dare.
And was that in response to the photograph he had just sent?
Yes.
And Landon says, "Sorry, it's being done." And what's your response?
No.
Publishing I-26. Another picture is sent. Is that a cupboard? A kitchen cupboard
I believe so.
that he made a cut from?
Made a cut in the hole in it, yes.
Okay. And what was your response to that?
OMG Landon in all caps.
And Landon responds, "I'm still working on it." And what is your response?
Did Dad let you in all caps?
Publishing I-27. Landon responds, "Yees, oop, yes." What's your response?
LOL, okay.
And Landon, "You can ask him." And your response?
Cooper asleep yet?
Landon states no. And what's your response?
Good Lord.
And this is at 11:48.
Yes.
Publishing I-28. Landon types back IKR. What is that shorthand for?
That stands for I know right.
That's in response to Cooper still being awake.
Yes.
And what's your response?
Dang child.
Landon responds, "Yeah." And then what do you respond?
Does he seem tired?
And then the defendant responds, "Yes, making coffee now." Cooper didn't drink coffee at 3, did he?
No.
Okay. Publishing I-29. What's your response?
I said good. Oh, okay.
And Landon says, "Yay, coffee." What's your response?
OMG.
And then there's a picture that gets sent of a coffee machine.
Yes.
I-30. What do you respond?
Yum.
And Coop is almost asleep, Landon states. What's your response?
Good.
And the defendant still states, "Everyone's still asleep."
And I responded with yeah.
Okay, and that was meaning your mother, Grady, and Bryn.
Yes.
Then it states that you were in a call at 12:10 a.m. Is that a group call with this Google Hangouts, or would it have been with one person or another?
It would have been a group call.
Between all three of you, Landon, and the defendant?
Yes.
Publishing I-31 this is now early morning hours of March 11th of 2017 at 12:31 a.m. What is your response?
I responded with how far away are you?
Landon responds, "Not too far." And what do you say?
Okay.
And Landon says 10 minutes. And your response?
Okay.
And then is there another group chat or call, at 12:36 a.m.?
Yes.
Do you remember what occurs with these two group calls at 12:10 and 12:36?
I do not.
I-32, what is your question? Or I'm sorry, this is, now I'm looking just down at, there was another group call at 12:42 a.m.
Yes.
Do you remember what is included in that call?
I do not.
I-33, there appears to be a missed call from Landon at 12:45,
Yes.
and that would have been a group call as well.
Yes.
Okay. Then we're jumping to 12:50 a.m. and the defendant responds, "You guys okay?" So tell me, leading up to that point, you were at your mom's, is that correct?
Yes.
And Landon and the defendant were together.
Yes.
Now, from the way this question comes out, where was everybody at that point at 12:50 a.m.?
At that point, me and Landon were both waiting in the Chrysler Pacifica that was parked down the street.
Okay. So let's stop for a minute and let's talk about how we get there. So what happens? How do you get down to the Chrysler Pacifica?
I opened the window of the kids' bedroom in my mom's house, and I climbed out the window, and I had passed my dad and met up with Landon, and Landon and I walked back to the Chrysler Pacifica.
Okay. So how did you know when to open up the window?
I don't remember if there was, I believe there was a call, but I don't remember exactly if there was a call or a text.
Is it possible that one of these calls alerted you to the fact that Landon and the defendant had arrived?
It is possible.
If it was a text, would it have been in the group text? If he had let you know he had arrived, that it would have been in the group text?
Most likely.
Okay. And there was no text saying he had arrived, correct?
No, there was not.
So, you stated you opened up what window from your mom's house?
I opened the kids' bedroom window, which is the window on the side of the house.
And was anybody sleeping in there?
No.
And did you go out that window?
I did.
And is there a fence around your mom's house?
There is not.
And do you close the window after you go out the window?
I believe I left it open, but I don't remember for sure.
And where do you go then?
Met up with Landon and we went down to the community center to sit in the Pacifica.
Where was the community center?
It was right down the street. It was pretty much at the end of my mom's street with like one street crossing it.
Why was the defendant's vehicle left there?
I don't remember exactly why.
And when you met up with Landon, did he go with you down to where the defendant's minivan was?
Yes.
And what did you do when you got in the minivan?
We sat and waited.
Was that the plan? That's what was going to happen?
Yes.
Why isn't that you didn't stay in the house?
I don't remember.
So then the defendant asks at 12:50 a.m., you guys okay? And Landon responds, yup. Publishing I-34. The defendant then asks, okay, this might take a little while. Publishing I-35, what is your response at 12:51 a.m.?
My response was okay.
Landon asks, are you okay? And the defendant responds, yes, trying to wake mom up, get her out of her room to talk. And what's your response?
My response was okay.
Ms. Johnson, this is probably a good time. The jury's pizza is here, so we're going to go and let them eat maybe 20 minutes or so and bring you back and go up to 8 o'clock. So let us know if you need additional time when Bailey goes back to get you at 20 minutes and you want some extra time. That's absolutely not a problem. And the plan is to come back and go until 8. Do not discuss the case amongst yourselves or with anyone else. Do not do any research related to the case. All rise for the jury. Oh, you ready? All right. Mr. Summers, defense ready? Yeah. All right, let's get the jury. It's 7:15. They said 8. So, Ms. Johnson, you think that how much longer you have?
We think we're going to, finish with her, and we have 2 more witnesses that we hope to get on.
You remember that the defense gets to cross the witnesses.
Yes.
Okay.
So, we have to guess. So,
Okay.
if we get the 2 on, great. If not,
Okay.
we'll have to put them on in the morning.
Let's get the jury. Else may be seated at this time. Gentlemen of the jury, welcome back. How was dinner? All right, everyone looks thumbs up, looks good. All right, I do apologize again for the early start and late end, but we're going to go up till 8 o'clock, and I'm going to allow the state to pick up where they left off.
I believe where we left off is Landon had asked at 12:51, are you okay? And the defendant responds, yes, trying to wake mom up to get her out of her room to talk. And your response is what?
My response was okay.
And the defendant responds, don't start the car, wait for me. Because you were sitting in the Chrysler Pacifica, is that correct?
Yes.
I-36, what is your response to that, wait for me?
Shoot, we're turning it off. It's off.
So had you turned the car on?
Yes.
And the defendant responds at 12:54, I'll be quiet for a while, I'm going in. And did you know what he meant by that?
I assume he meant that he would not be texting for a little bit.
Did you know if that meant he was going in your mother's bedroom or not, or going in the house?
I do not know.
And what was your response?
My response was okay.
And his publishing I-37, defendant responds, actually going in now, nervous. In your response?
My response was good luck.
He responds, thanks. This is taking forever. I took her phones. Hope she notices and gets up to get them. Publishing I-38. Landon asks, still asleep? And what's your response?
She's still asleep.
With question marks,
Question marks,
correct?
yes.
And are you referring to your mother?
Yes.
And the defendant responds, yes, but stirring any minute now at 1:19 a.m. What is beautiful?
It was meant to be slang for beautiful.
And who's photographed there?
That is me and Landon.
In the Pacifica?
Yes.
I-39, what's your response?
My response was, just take the kids, that'll wake her up.
And the defendant says, keep an eye out for that jerk. Is that Jeff Mathewson?
Yes.
And Landon responds, I am. And what's your response?
We're keeping an eye out for that son of a bitch.
And Landon says, Arden's not. And what do you state?
Yo.
And Landon says that she is on Pinterest. Were you on Pinterest?
Probably.
I-40. She has a PIN code for the new phone but can't figure it out. That's the defendant's statement at 1:21 a.m.
Yes.
And her new phone, did she have a new iPhone?
I don't remember.
Okay. And you had originally told him that she unlocked her phone via thumbprint in the text that we previously reviewed?
Yes.
And Landon says, we drank 3/4 of Monster, and the defendant responds, okay, and what did you state?
I don't know what it is.
And is that response to not knowing what the code is to get into your mother's phone?
Yes.
I-41, there is a missed call from Landon, a group call that he had placed at 1:24 a.m.
Yes.
And the defendant responds, can't talk on the phone. Landon responds, okay, and the defendant says, really taking forever, you guys okay? I'm going to make a noise to wake her up. And what is your response?
I responded with okay.
I-42, Landon says, Jeff, car. And what do you state?
I stated, just saw a car that kind of looked like Jeff's.
And Landon responds, crap. Did you in fact see Jeff's car at around 1:40 in the morning?
No.
I-43, what is your response?
I responded with shit.
And Landon responds, is Jeff there? The defendant responds, no. And Landon makes some kind of smiley face, so relieved. And the defendant states, I'm turning on the TV now. Publishing I-44. She's dead asleep. And Landon responds, is that woman awake? This should work. And what's your response?
My response was okay.
I-45. Landon responds, good. Any response? The defendant responds, she's just about awake at 1:56 a.m. Landon responds, good. And the defendant responds, still not waking up. Time for extreme measures. You guys okay? And what's your response?
The hell, with a question mark and an exclamation point.
I-46. Did you have another response?
I responded with, yeah, we're fine after that.
Landon states, water on face. The defendant says, okay, you guys okay? And your response?
My response was, yeah.
At 2:17 now, the defendant responds, it's still working on her. Landon responds, yup. Publishing I-47. The defendant responds, great, thanks. Landon responds back, everything okay? The defendant says, yep, she's finally getting up. That's at 2:29 a.m. And what's your response?
My response was good.
And at this whole time, you were in the Chrysler minivan.
Yes.
Was Cooper in the minivan?
He was not.
Where was Cooper?
Cooper was asleep at my dad's house.
Okay. Who was at your dad's house while he was sleeping?
Nobody, just Cooper.
Okay. I-48. The defendant says, so now like 15 minutes. And Landon responds, after 50 minutes. And what's your response?
Okay, OMG Landon.
And the defendant says, IKR, and that's I know, right?
Yes.
And the defendant responds, exactly at 3 a.m. She just woke up.
Yes.
And you respond,
Well, finally.
Then publishing I-49, the defendant responds, false alarm, she rolled over, I've had the TV on full blast, slammed the door, turned on the light, and she keeps going back to sleep. Guess it's water time. What is your response?
My response was, damn it, hurry up.
And were you tired of sitting in the car, all that? Because you had been in the car since, was it about 12:30
Yes.
a.m.? So the defendant says, I'm doing the water now, and your response?
Good.
Publishing I-50, the defendant responds, just finishing up with her, and your response?
My response was, okay, can we turn the car on now?
And he responds in a few minutes, and that's at 4 a.m.?
Yes.
And your response is?
My response was, okay.
The defendant says then, you need to turn off the daytime running lamps in the screen menu, otherwise the lights will be on suspiciously. I-51, and that was at 4:01 a.m. What is your response?
My response was, there's no lights on in the car, though.
And Landon says, I'm the getaway driver. Had he driven the car anywhere up to that point?
No.
And what is, the defendant responds, LOL, the headlights come on when the car is on. And then Landon responds, the car is on. Publishing I-52, so can we turn the car on and turn the headlights off? And the defendant responds, if you turn off the daytime running lamps in the settings menu. And Landon starts questioning about this, is that correct?
Yes.
Publishing I-53, what, how do you do that? And what is this photograph or image of?
It is a photograph that says what in marination, and it was supposed to be in response to our confusion about the daytime headlights.
And was that did you send that?
Yes.
And the defendant responds, never mind, I'll be there soon at 4:05 a.m.
Yes.
And Landon responds, okay, publishing I-54. What is your response?
My response was, okay, are you leaving the house now?
The defendant says in 15 minutes at 4:06. And your response?
My response was, okay.
And Landon says, tell us when you are about to leave. Publishing I-55. The defendant responds, okay, and your response is?
My response was, try to hurry, don't forget about Cooper. Landon wants me to drive to the house.
Were you upset, or were you concerned that Cooper was going to wake up and no one was going to be there?
Very much so, yes.
And when you say Landon wants you to drive to the house, what did you mean by that? Did you mean drive to your mom's house?
Yes, from the community center.
Did you think that your dad was almost done talking to your mom?
We weren't sure at that time.
Okay. Were you hoping that was going to maybe hurry things up?
Yes.
And the defendant says, we are hurrying, everything okay? And your response?
My response was, yeah, in front of the house.
Okay. So at some point, do you move from your location in the parking lot to your mom's house?
Yes.
Tell me about that.
We pretty much just drove the Chrysler Pacifica from the community center parking lot to my mom's house. It was only about a minute away.
When you say we, who is that?
I was the one driving, and then Landon was in the passenger seat, so it was just me and Landon.
Okay. So that was at 4:23
Yes.
that you send that message that you were in front of the house.
Yes.
Publishing I-56. The defendant says, I can see Cooper from my phone. He's fast asleep. Was there a monitor in Cooper's room in your dad's house?
Not that I recall.
Okay. What is your response?
My response was, okay, good.
And the defendant responds, thank you for being patient. And your response?
My response was, you're welcome, and then at 5:03 and texted, are you almost done?
And then the defendant responds, yes, stay in the car at 5:03 a.m.
Yes.
Publishing I-57, what was your response?
My response was, we are.
And the defendant states at 5:13, come in and get Bryn and Grady, door is open. And your response?
My response was, okay.
So did you go in the house to get Bryn and Grady?
I did, yes.
And was that the first time that you had gone in the house since your dad had entered the house?
Yes.
Tell me what you saw when you walked in the house.
I walked in the house. I don't remember how I knew where they were in the house. I do remember walking back to my parents' bedroom and them being there.
When you say your parents' bedroom, was
or
that
my
ever
mom's.
your dad's bedroom?
It was not, no.
Okay. So did you see anything that you remember, anybody in the family room?
I do not. That part of the night was fairly blurry.
Okay. Had you slept at all that night?
I had not, no.
Okay. So where did you go to get Bryn and Grady?
I went to my mom's bedroom to get Bryn and Grady.
And what were they doing?
I don't really remember exactly what they were doing.
Do you remember seeing your mom?
I thought I did, but it's blurry. I'm not sure.
Okay. Do you know where your mom was?
No,
Did you see the defendant?
I don't remember.
Okay. So what do you do when you see Bryn and Grady?
I just remember walking with them out of the house into the car that was parked out front.
And that was the defendant's car?
Yes, the Chrysler Pacifica.
Okay. And do you all, the three of you, get in the car?
Yes.
Is Landon in the car as well?
Yes.
Do you remain there at that time?
Yes.
Okay. So you went in and you got Bryn and Grady as you were instructed to do, and then the defendant at 5:24 says walking out now, and what is your response?
My response was okay.
And at I-58 publishing, the defendant responds, sorry, one more minute. And what's your response?
My response was, okay.
And the defendant responds, just about ready, you all are great. And your response?
My response was okay.
Okay, so then the next text we have is a jump to 6:03 a.m. The defendant is saying, you doing okay driving, nice and slow. So what happened between him saying he's just about ready at 5:34 to then texting you, asking you how you're driving at 6:03 a.m.?
He came out to the car shortly after he had said that and asked me if I could drive back to his house because Cooper was still asleep and he might wake up soon, and that he needed to still talk to my mom for a bit and it was going to be a while.
Do you remember what his demeanor was when he came outside?
He seemed calm. That's all I really remember about it.
Did you ever go back in the house at that point?
I did not.
So when he asked you to drive home, did you agree to drive home?
I did, yes.
Did you have a driver's license?
No.
And so what did you do?
I made sure that all the kids were buckled and I drove about 26 minutes from my mom's house to my dad's house.
Did you know the map or the way to get, did you know how to get there or did you have to use a map?
I had to use a map.
Like a Google's map?
There was if I remember correctly, a navigation panel on the Chrysler Pacifica.
And did you drive all the way home?
I drove to the neighborhood and then Landon asked if he could switch just to drive and pull into the driveway of my dad's house.
Were you scared when you were driving?
Yes.
Did you ever have to pull over or anything like that?
No.
Did you ever get pulled over?
No.
And did you let Landon drive then from the entrance of the subdivision to the defendant's home?
Yes.
And about how far was that?
It was only about a 2-minute drive if I remember correctly.
And how old was Landon?
Landon was 12.
And why is it that he wanted to drive?
I don't remember exactly if there was a reason.
Okay. And so what happens when you got to the defendant's home?
When we got home, we went inside and Cooper was just about waking up when we came into the house.
And where was he? What bedroom was he in?
I don't remember.
And so then you had arrived safely at the home with Landon, Grady, and Bryn?
Yes.
Okay. So then the defendant had responded at 6:03, you okay driving nice and slow? And then Landon says yes. And what is your response?
My response was, we're in the neighborhood, Landon's driving now, and then we're home.
And that is at 6:18 a.m.?
Yes.
And the defendant responds, awesome. And what did you say?
I responded with, I did it, in all caps.
And then at publishing I-60, there appears to be a missed group call from Landon at 6:21 a.m.
I don't remember. Or yes, there was, but I don't remember what was said.
Okay. And the defendant says, "You are awesome," and your response?
Thanks.
And then so then there's a jump from 6:26 to 9:22 a.m. You all doing okay? What happened at the house between the time you getting home till about that time, 9:22?
As soon as I got home and Cooper woke up, I made the kids some breakfast and got them settled, made sure that they were comfortable and okay, and then I went and I slept.
Is that because you had been up the whole night
Yes.
previously? What was Landon doing?
I don't remember what Landon was doing.
And then the defendant had sent the text and publishing I-61. There doesn't appear, there's no response from you or Landon between the 9:22 and then there's another text publishing I-61 from the defendant. If Gummy texts or calls, don't answer until I let you know. Thanks. And that's at 11:40.
Yes.
Who is Gummy?
Gummy is my mom's mom, my grandmother.
Okay. And did you know if she would have been calling because she wasn't able to get in touch with your mother, or why she would have called you all?
I don't know.
Okay. And what is your response?
My response was, okay, when you be back?
And that's at 12:07 p.m.?
Yes.
And the defendant says about an hour. And that's at 12:10?
Yes.
And your response?
My response was, kids are being a pain in the ass, and I still sleeping because I got no damn sleep.
And the defendant responds, okay.
Yes.
And publishing I-62, the defendant says, is Landon awake? Can you take turns with him taking a break? Landon responds, when are you getting home? This is at 7:03 p.m.
Yes.
So the whole day has gone by on March 11th of 2017.
Yes.
And you and the kids were at the house?
Yes.
Were there any adults there?
No.
Then the defendant responds about 8:30. Landon says, when are we seeing the tigers? What does that mean?
If I remember correctly, my dad had a friend who worked with a big cats sanctuary, and we were going to go see them at some point.
Okay. Did you think you were going to do that on March 11th?
I don't remember.
The defendant says, we can tomorrow. And land on publishing I-63, you respond what?
I respond with awe and an angry face.
And then publishing the rest of I-63 and I-64 is Landon with mad tiger faces.
Yes.
Okay. And then the defendant responds LOL, and Landon is saying, it's not funny, I'm mad, and with more emojis. And what is your response then from at 8:33 p.m.?
My response was, where the hell are you, Dad? With exclamation points and question marks.
Did you have any idea what was happening at your mother's home?
Not at all.
Did you have any idea where they could be?
No.
I-65, the defendant responds at 8:34, leaving now, Mom is coming with me. And Landon makes an emoji face, and what do you state?
I said, finally, do you know how hard it is to take care of kids when you gotta barely any sleep? I'm so tired.
And the defendant responds, you'll be rewarded greatly, my dear. Do you know what he meant by that?
I do not.
And Landon, publishing I-66, Landon says, what about me? All Arden is doing is yelling. And what do you say?
My response was, hey, in all caps.
And the defendant responds, you'll both be rewarded, of course. Love you. Mom's coming home. And that's at 8:38.
Yes.
And your response?
My response was, okay, love you too.
Was there any more text from the defendant on this group chat?
No.
That was the last that you had heard from him. Is that correct?
Yes.
Did he ever arrive home?
He did not.
Did your mom ever come to the house?
No.
Did you ever see a suitcase of your father's packed at his home?
I did not.
Did you know where your mother and the defendant were?
No.
On March 12th of 2017, did you know where your mother or the defendant was?
No.
On March 13th, did you know where they were?
No.
Were you later told that on March 13th of 2017 that your mother had been found as well as the defendant?
Yes.
Now, at some point, did law enforcement come to the defendant's house?
Yes.
And was that on the late hours of Saturday, leading into the early morning hours of Sunday? Do you remember?
Yes.
Tell me how that happened. Were there any adults at the house at that time with you and the other children?
When the police first showed up, no, there were not.
Okay. And then, so the police came and tell me, who opened up the door?
I did.
Okay. And tell me what happened.
When I opened the door, they asked if my parents were home. I had told them that they were not. I didn't know where they were, which they had asked me if I knew where my parents were. And they asked if there were any adults at the house, and I said there were not. So we got in contact with my dad's parents and then a family friend.
And did the defendant's parents come over to his house?
They did, yes.
And were you questioned by law enforcement about if you knew where your parents were?
Yes.
Is that when you shared the text messages with law enforcement, when you spoke to them?
That's when I shared a different string of text messages from the night before March 10th, when I had gone to my mom's house by myself.
Okay. So you had gone to your mom's house Thursday night by yourself?
Yes.
Okay. And was that for what purpose?
That was for the plan that we were going to let my dad in that night instead of Friday night.
So the plan was for this whole thing to take place on the night of March 9th?
Correct.
But you stated earlier that you had ended up going home because you had gotten a fight with your mom about your dad.
Yes.
So you had showed those text messages to law enforcement?
Yes.
Okay. Did you ultimately tell them how you had gotten from your mom's house to the defendant's house?
Yes.
Did you tell them that you drove?
Yes.
Arden, I'm showing you what's been pre-marked as State's Exhibit G and H for identification purposes. We'll start with G. Do you recognize this disc?
Yes.
How is it that you recognize it?
I put my signature on it.
And have you previously viewed this disc?
I have, yes.
And is it a fair and accurate video of the minivan arriving back at the defendant's home at approximately 6:18 a.m. on the morning of March 11th?
Yes.
Showing you State's Exhibit H for identification purposes. Do you recognize this disc?
Yes.
How is it that you recognize it?
I have my signature on it.
And is this have you previously watched this?
Yes.
And is it a fair and accurate copy of the video that had taken place on your mother's street?
Yes.
That depicts you and Landon as well as the defendant?
Yes.
Okay. Judge, at this time the state would offer into evidence State's Exhibit G and H.
Any objection?
No objection.
G and H will be admitted.
Permission to publish. Let me just check my exhibit list, Judge. I want to make sure that I did not mix up the exhibit tags. Permission to publish H first, Judge.
You may publish.
If you can tell me, Arden, who we just saw walk across the screen there
That was Landon.
at 12:45 a.m. Who is that walking?
That is Trevor Summers.
And is this your mother's street, de Bloom?
Yes.
See the cursor up there. Who do we see in this shot now?
That is me and Landon.
Oh, there it is. Why can't I? Were you walking just in a second ago towards your mother's home?
Yes, when we turned around.
Now, what direction are you and Landon walking in?
We were walking towards the Chrysler.
At 12:46 a.m.?
Yes.
Where was your the defendant going?
He was going towards my mom's house.
And how far of a walk was it for you and Landon to walk down to where the defendant's vehicle was?
It was only about 5 minutes.
Now, for trial purposes, this video with no with dead time of nobody in the frames, it's been cut to 4:22 a.m. There are some headlights coming down the street. Can you tell me if you recognize that vehicle?
Yes, that is the Chrysler Pacifica.
And who was driving?
I was driving.
And is that consistent with being you responding in the text message at 4:23 a.m. that you were sitting in front of your mother's home?
Yes.
Permission to publish G. Do you recognize that vehicle?
Yes, that is the Chrysler Pacifica.
And who is driving at that point?
Landon was driving.
And where was he pulling into?
He was pulling into my dad's driveway.
And you had texted that you all had arrived home at 6:18 a.m.?
Yes.
Take a moment, Judge.
Examination.
Thank you. Arden Summers.
Hello.
Let me ask you about a few things that you mentioned earlier tonight. One of the first things that you spoke about was that we could intervene, that Mr. Jeff might intervene. Do you know what you meant by that?
Not necessarily, more of just that he would come into the house and make a show, just make an appearance.
Do you know if at the time I was afraid of him?
I do not remember.
Do you know if we knew much about him?
We did not know much about him.
Do you know if we knew if he had guns?
I don't remember.
Judge, relevance?
I'll sustain.
May I use the exhibits, please?
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you. For the record, I'm using the same exhibits I, 1 through 66.
Not a problem. And just as before, just before you publish, you don't have to ask to publish, just identify as you publish.
Yes. Yes, sir. These are in reverse order.
We need to switch the screen. It's switched now to the computer.
Oh, good.
Perfect.
Okay. Publishing I2. Arden, do you remember why we called Mr. Jeff the Booger Man?
I do not.
You do not? Okay. And publishing, I3. Arden, do you remember why Landon would have said, look for the black pound, pound, pound whole car?
Because at the time he did not like Jeff.
He did not like him?
No.
Pardon me, Your Honor. These are in reverse order. I'm trying to sort them back so that it's easier to get through the pictures. Publishing I-39. Arden, do you see my comment there? Keep an eye out for that jerk.
Yes.
Do you remember why we talked about him as a jerk?
Because at the time he was in a relationship with my mom.
And Arden, let me ask, do you remember communications that we had with Mom about Mr. Jeff?
I do not.
Do you remember me using your phone to communicate with your mother?
I do.
You don't?
I do.
You do. How often would you say I communicated with your mother right before this night?
I don't remember how often exactly it was, but it was a couple times a week.
It was a couple times a week. Do you know if your mother responded as we were communicating?
I do not remember.
Do you remember some conversations we were having leading up to this evening?
I do not remember.
Do you remember me saying that we needed Mom's permission for you to go to Nevada?
Yes, I do.
Do you believe that that's a true statement?
Yes.
Okay. And why would we need Mom's permission?
Because at the time you were separated.
And Mom still was legally responsible for you?
Yes.
Yes. And I couldn't just send you to another state, correct?
Correct.
Other than to talk to your mother, do you remember any other conversations that you and I, or you and me and Landon had about going to Mom's house?
I just remember that you said you needed to talk to her about some legal stuff and to get permission for me to go to Nevada.
Okay. And let's see. Arden, publishing I-7. Arden, on this photograph here, where were you sitting when you took that photograph?
I was sitting on the couch that was against the wall in the living room.
Okay. And publishing I-9. And Arden, where are you sitting there?
I was still sitting on the couch that was against the wall in the living room.
Is that a pillow on your lap?
Yes.
What pillow is that?
One of the throw pillows that was on the couch.
Okay. And after your mother and Brandon Grady went to bed, sorry, let me leave that there for a moment. Did you stay on that couch?
Yes.
Were you just watching television that night?
Yes.
Did you just toss the throw pillows off and just sit there?
I don't remember.
Okay. What are Brandon Grady covered with?
Blankets.
Do you any idea what blankets they were?
I know one of them was Grady's Minions blanket, and then another one was just a white blanket we had in the living room.
Okay. Do you remember seeing a starfish blanket there with them?
I do not remember.
Okay. And publishing I-21. Arden, do you see where I say any receipts for prescriptions or birth control?
Yes.
Do you remember me speaking to your mother about her possibly being pregnant?
I do not.
You do not?
No.
Okay. And publishing I-60. And I know there's a little glare on there. Do you see where it says you were in a call with Landon?
Yes.
You remember me being on the telephone with you guys and you drove home?
I do not remember.
You don't remember?
No.
So in that evening, when you were with your mother at the house, I'm sorry, when your mother picked you up, where did she pick you up from that evening?
She picked us up from one of the community centers in the neighborhood Panther Trace.
Okay, that was just down the road from my house?
Yes.
Okay. And do you remember any conversations you had with your siblings or your mother on the way home?
I do not.
Objection, hearsay, Judge.
Yeah. We'll answer if she remembers any conversations. Just don't tell us what the conversations were. Only if you remember them.
I do not remember.
You don't? Okay. Do you know if our neighbor was watching our house?
I do not remember.
Do you remember your friend who lived up the street whose dad had a boat?
Objection, Judge. Relevance.
Sustained.
When you got home the next morning, where was Cooper sleeping?
I do not remember.
When I came out to the car to speak to you, do you remember what I said to you?
Just that you told me that you still had to talk to my mom and that you asked me if I could drive back to your house because Cooper was still sleeping there.
Okay. You said I seemed calm when I came to the car.
I don't really remember, but that's what I remember from it, yes.
Okay. And when I sent you a text saying that Mom was coming home, you knew that I was coming home as well?
Yes.
And what did you think about your mother coming home?
I was happy about that.
Why were you happy about that?
No kid wants their parents to get divorced.
And did it seem strange that your mother was coming home?
I don't remember at the moment.
Do you remember me and Mom talking about these kind of things in phone calls leading up to this night?
I don't remember.
When you saw the video of you and Landon walking on the street, and then you saw me, and you guys went back and talked to me on the street that night, do you remember what we talked about?
I do not.
When you saw me in the video, is that what I was wearing?
Yes.
Did I have anything on me?
Not that I remember.
No. Okay. And Arden, you said you didn't really remember when you came in to the house to get Brendan Grady where your mother and I were.
Yes.
If I showed you a statement that you gave during a deposition recently, would that refresh your memory?
Possibly.
Your Honor, may I?
Yeah, let me just have
publish
the
that?
let me have the bailiff hand her the deposition. If you can identify exactly where the page and line number, I'll have the bailiff take it to her.
Yes, I can. It's page 17 and 18. Starting on page 17, line 23, and going to page 18, line 2. Would you take a look at that, Arden, and see if it refreshes your memory?
Sure.
Does that refresh your memory?
A little bit.
Okay. Can you tell us then, when you came into the home, where you saw your mother and I?
I guess I remember seeing you and her in the bedroom with the 2 little ones.
Okay. And the 2 little ones just went with you right after that?
That's what I remember, yes.
Okay. And were they happy? Were they sad? Were they... Do you remember?
I don't remember.
Did you just want to come in and get out?
I believe so.
Okay. And Arden, did you ever see us physically fighting in the home when you came in?
Not physically, no.
Not this time?
No.
That was your thing? Have you seen us physically fighting before?
Not that I remember, no.
Okay. And let me ask you, were you able to answer all the questions tonight of your own memory?
Yes.
Okay. Well, then I have no further questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Redirect.
Arden, when you were walking in the street and saw the defendant pass by walking to your mother's home, did you stop and have a long verse conversation with him, or was it simply a passing by?
From what I remember, it was a passing by.
And was it dark out?
Yes.
If your father had been on the phone with you the entire time that you drove home and had arrived home, there would have been no need for the text saying you had arrived home at 6:18 a.m. Is that fair to say?
Correct.
Nothing further, Judge.
May this witness be released by the state
She can be released by the state.
and released by the defense?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. You may step down. You may be released as a witness at this time.
Thank